Hey everybody, welcome to Homies and Houses. Today we're kind of gonna run through fix and flips. I've never done one, but Alana has done one or two, and she went to go look at another possibility the other day, so we're kind of gonna run through that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So do you want to tell us about your first fix and flip and like how that um like what you saw in it, what you liked and what you didn't, and what you looked for, and yeah, things like that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've talked a little bit about, and I'm not going to get like in depth about this, but once the first like flip I ever did, before my first house flip was a camper, and I did
Mm.
that to fund a down payment on another house. And so I would say like I bring that up to say that I think it was like a really good experience on a very small level
Mm-hmm.
to flip a camper. Um, because I kind of got like a little taste of it, and then I'm like, I loved that. That was so satisfying seeing it
Yeah.
go from completely outdated. That camper had no serious problems or anything like that, but to like seeing the transformation, I was like, this is something I really like to do. So I did that. We could talk about how I failed to flip a fish house one time. I did that too. In Minnesota, ice fishing is a big thing. So failed to flip a fish house. But then, so my camper down funded a down payment on another house that was really, really profitable. And so then when a house came up to fix and flip just down the road, it was like kind of a no-brainer. So I had told my like realtor at the time that I was really interested in doing a flip if one ever came about.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a flipper. He's done like a million flips. And he's
Yeah.
like, well, there's this one. And he's like, I actually kind of wanted to do it, but he's like, I'm just very over leveraged right now. And so he took me to look at it. And I would say what I really liked about it was it kind of reminded me of the camper in that I'm like, it doesn't look like there's like huge significant issues, but it needs like all the love at the same
Yeah.
time. So yeah, I bought that for 140. And it what really caught my eye too is it had been on the market for I think 2 months almost and like no offers. And so I was like, okay, cool. There's probably some room to, negotiate the price down a bit. And so I think it was listed for like 150 something and ended up getting it for like 140 or 142.
Nice. And then what kind of things did you do to it? Like what did it need doing? Um, yeah. How much
Yeah.
money did you put
I think
into it?
actually, yeah, I think my favorite part was that the basement was unfinished and it had so much potential to finish.
Yeah.
It looked like the people that had lived there had like maybe hung out down there because there was like a little bit of like it was like old and not done whatsoever. Besides, they had like a dartboard, they had like a little like a slab of carpet, but it was enough to like kind of give the vision of I could make this a because it was a 2 bed, 1 bath. I'm like, this could be a 3 bed, still just 1 bath, but then also there was like a good space for like another living area, like a family room.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, that could add so much value. And so finished the basement on it. All new trim, got rid of like popcorn ceilings upstairs. The bathroom had to be completely redone, like new, almost completely gutted and like new bath surround, bathtub, all the things. But something I liked about it was like the windows were all pretty new, like didn't have to replace windows.
Okay.
The cabinetry in the kitchen was actually really pretty. So I was like, okay, like that's something that normally you would probably do during a flip, but it already like fit. Like they had maybe like replaced it not too long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are some things that I really looked for, but I would say the value add of finishing the basement was the number one, like, okay, cool, we can get a lot of money, a lot of profit out of this just by finishing the basement. We can sell it for so much more
Mm-hmm.
in this time.
Yeah.
So,
And did you finish the basement by yourself or did you hire contractors for that?
definitely had to hire some contractors. Yeah, we had to add, so when I say we, okay, so I bought the house. And then, I'm sorry, I feel like I talk about my ex husband a lot, but he was part of the journey, but we were divorced at the time. But his brother was my realtor.
Okay.
And so then my ex-husband was like, oh, that would be a good buy, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, well, I'm buying it. But if you do a lot of the work, we can split the profit. Because I work for the Heart Association and it was during heart season, which is the same season I'm in now. We're on the road almost every day.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to be there every day, but I might not be there till 6 p.m. a lot of days. I'm
Yeah.
like, so if you do a lot of the work, we can split the profit. So when I say we did things pretty equally.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did a lot of the basement work, but then hired contractors for like putting in an egress window to add that third bedroom. Yeah, there was a lot that needed to be done. Like
Nice.
electrical work and stuff like that. He's
Oh,
not licensed to do that. He
yeah.
knows a lot, but he's not licensed and whatever.
So how did
So
you found electrician? How did you find a good electrician? Or like what do you look for in um a good electrician?
yeah. Yeah. So actually what was kind of really nice about this flip was that at the time when I first bought it, I hadn't done a flip, so I didn't know a lot of contractors yet. Like I hadn't really formed that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But like you know people that know people, and so my realtor who does like a ton of flips, I kind of asked him. And I would suggest that for anyone who's like new into like flipping, just ask people that you know because there's definitely good contractors and bad contractors. I would say more good than bad, you know? Like most people are good at their jobs and like want to do right by you,
Yeah.
but some people are more organized and timely and
Yeah.
have a sense of urgency more than others. But
Yep.
anyway, so I trusted his opinion because I'm like, he's done a lot of flips and he's hired a lot of contractors. And so I basically used the electrician that he recommended, the plumber he recommended, the what am I trying to say? Who like put the egress window in and stuff like that. That was they have a relation to my ex-husband, like it's his cousins like own
Yeah.
this business, and so like we knew that they would prioritize us and do a good job and everything like that. But like now like those are still my contractors because they did do a really good job. So like I literally have my electrician like I wouldn't say like on speed dial like this isn't 1990, but I shoot him a text anytime I need something. I feel like he just prioritizes my needs even though he's really busy. So
Yeah, that's nice. I found a lot of the list of people, plumbers, electricians, things like that through my lender because she worked specifically in the area that it was like a neighborhood lender. Um and she gave me a few recommendations, and I like looking up their Google reviews too. A lot. I feel like some contractors don't really have a very big online presence, but if they do, that's a nice like comfort to see like that they have good-ish reviews. Anyway,
yeah,
um,
yeah. There
but
is one contractor that I won't use anymore, and I'm not going to say his profession or what he does, but it's actually like a real thing. Like, just being, I don't know, it was just weird. I think it's different, and I'm not someone that's like, oh, I'm so oppressed because I'm a female or something, but like, he like I don't know, like he would prioritize me, but like he wouldn't do the work unless I was there. And so I
mm,
started to be like, this is getting weird. Like, would
yeah,
he demand I'm there to like blah 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 talk to him if I was a dude? No.
yeah,
Like he would just show up. And so we kind of got into it a little bit. Like basically, in one of my not in the flip but in one of my buildings I have like a stackable washer and dryer in my
hmm,
commercial building. I put that in as a perk for like the business tenants because they're in the wellness industry, so like massage, acupuncture, they got towels and stuff they gotta wash.
yeah,
Anyway, this contractor that was helping me was like I forgot what he had to do. He had to do something, plus I won't say because then it would give away what he is, but anyway, he was like, well, yeah, well, can you be here? And I'm like, to help me lift it, and I'm like, he does not need my help lifting
yeah,
this. Like it was like I could probably lift it by myself, I'm just not there.
yeah,
And I was like, no, like I live in a different town too, so it's like very difficult to like just be there for no reason.
yeah,
And just very busy. And so then he'd be like, well, then I'm just gonna wait. And so then I'm like, I'm going to test this. And so one of my best friends was renting from me in the same building in the apartment downstairs.
Hmm.
And so I was like, called up my friend and I'm like, hey, can you go help this person lift this thing? And he's like, yeah. He went up there and the guy refused to like lift it with him.
Oh my gosh.
And this put my tenants out another 2 weeks on getting like the washer and dryer working.
That's so
And so
frustrating.
I haven't hired him back and like he knows it.
Yeah.
But it was like that for like a year of him doing different stuff for me. And it's like I always had to be there. And for a while I'm like, fine, like I just want this done. Like I'll be there,
Yeah.
whatever. I'll work on other stuff. Well, but then
Yeah.
I was like, no. And so I felt kind of like, I don't know, just because this is kind of like, so I mean, we're not just like a female podcast, but like we're two female real estate investors
Hmm.
that talk to like, I don't know. It was just kind of a thing. And I had to put my foot down and be like, I'm just not going to hire you then because I'm running a business here.
Yeah.
I'm not like here for your entertainment.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And plus, not to mention, this guy's like in his 60s.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even like he's like my
Yikes.
age. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Uh, I
that was
have
a side
some
rant.
I have some other female investors that like won't have contractors over to their house unless they have someone else there, just from like a safety and comfort perspective. Because some contractor, like most contractors are great and nice and friendly and they do their jobs, but I mean, there's some sketchy people. So, I mean, it's nice to just be aware. And if that's makes you more comfortable, then it's totally fine to have friends there to, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I would suggest that. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a really good thing.
yeah,
Sometimes I don't know how, or like female realtors, like how they like
yeah,
show houses, like just by themselves. And actually,
yeah,
that's something we'll have a realtor on next week. That's something we can kind of talk to her about too. But
yeah,
yeah, anyway, so contractors, most of the time, I'd say they're really reliable, really great, but don't be afraid to fire them
yeah,
if they're not because
yeah.
you're running a business. So,
And
yeah.
and and I don't think there's anything wrong with getting multiple quotes for things. I actually recommend feel like that's a good thing to do when you're
Mhm.
talking to contractors is talk to a few of them, get multiple quotes, kind of get a feel for how they communicate because communication is a big thing for me. Like if you don't have to I get not answering immediately, but like if we're trying to figure something out, like and it's a weekday, like I feel like 24 hours is a good response time. And if they're not responding, then that's just giving you like a view of how they're going to react when they're doing the job for you. Like they're not going to respond or they're not going to be as like eager to get moving, you know? Um
Yeah,
but yeah.
totally.
And you went to go view another possible flip recently, right?
Yeah,
So tell us a little bit
yeah.
about that.
Yeah, so I got a call or a text well now it's probably been almost 2 weeks ago. Um, for someone, he's a realtor in the community that I've actually never used. I would, love to if the right deal comes, but it's always just something that makes it not the right deal.
Yeah.
But he texted me and he's like, "Hey, are you still looking for a flip?" Because he knew that I've wanted one. And the reason I want a flip, like very strategic and like what we're
Hmm.
doing in our portfolios. And right now, I kind of want the capital that a flip can provide. And the type of financing you can get for a flip can be really good. So anyway, I was like, yeah, awesome. He's like, it's a 4 bedroom for 135. And I'm like, that sounds really good because a four
Hmm.
bedroom is worth a lot.
Yeah.
People that need a 4 bedroom, like they need it
Hmm.
if they have like that many kids or that big of a family, whatever. And so like they're just naturally worth more.
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, 135 for a 4 bedroom, 2 car garage, and I think it was just or 1.5 bath. I was like, that sounds, like
Hmm.
definitely worth looking at. And so I went and looked at it, and it had a clear foundation issue, but like I don't know the extent of how bad. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if it was just like a leveling issue or if like it would need like
How'd you find that? Or like
professionally
what
installed
did
tax.
what pointed that out to you?
So everything looked fine until I walked into a certain room, which I think it was a very weird house. We'll talk about that too. It wasn't like a very functional layout, but I think it was meant to be like a bedroom. But I walked in and the floor was just like kind of sinking.
Hmm.
Like it was just clearly like not. And then I
Yeah.
looked at the like baseboards and it was like separated from
Oh,
the
yikes.
house a little bit. I don't know,
Yeah.
but the rest of the house looked fine. That's what was kind of like weird. So
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, it's just really in this room, and that's why I'm like, I don't know if it was like in addition to the house, and like that was just like overlooked. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if it was just I don't really know the history of the house very well, but I'm like, okay, clearly this is a problem. And the realtor's like, oh yeah, like he's like, I haven't really looked at this house yet, so he's like, but yeah, I see what you're talking about, whatever. It was a true 1.5 bath because I say that to say like like the house I live in is technically a 1.5 bath, but the half bath is a toilet in the basement in an unfinished basement. This was like a true 1.5 bath where
Yeah.
it was like two bathrooms like upstairs.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I like that part of it. But then in one of the rooms, like underneath the bathroom, there was a ton of water damage. So I'm like, the toilet was leaking or something like
Mm.
that. But anyway, like after looking at it, it wasn't like a very, like I said, a functional layout. I don't know how to explain it. It was just very strangely laid out. The neighborhood it was in was like, oh, it was fine. It's not like a terrible part of town, but it's not like a really nice part of town.
Yeah.
And we have to talk about that for like comps in the area for
Hmm.
what you can eventually sell it for.
Yeah.
That's something I'll refer back to the full flip I did as well.
Comps are
And so anyway,
comparables for anyone who doesn't know that. You
but yeah,
when
yep.
you compare houses to the one you're buying so that you know how much it's worth for like appraisals and things like that. Um, but go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's perfect. And yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't like think about that part of it when I did my first flip. So that was a learning lesson for me. But anyways, all that to say, I'm like, I don't think this place is it's like, well, I'm not going to make money if I buy it for 135. There's too much work to do.
Yeah.
And the other red flag to me was, well, I suggest people get inspections. We talked about in one episode how I've only ever done an inspection on like one property.
Yeah.
The fact I like needed an inspection to feel comfortable at all going if I were to go forward was kind of a red flag to me too.
Yeah.
Like not that it's a bad thing to get an inspection, but for me to think that,
Yeah.
like I would absolutely need that to feel comfortable is
Yeah.
like, okay, this is probably has some issues. Um, but yeah, I okay, so then I went on Zillow because I'm like, pro tip everybody, you can look at like what a house was last bought for, sold
Hmm.
for, property taxes, the dates, all that stuff on Zillow. Probably other websites too. I just use Zillow. So I look it up and it was bought 2 weeks before I looked at it for 85,000.
Oh my gosh.
2 weeks. January 13th. Yeah, it
Wow.
was bought for 85,000. And I'm like, well, it's possible the realtor didn't even know that, but regardless, like no
Yeah.
one said anything to me. I'm like, okay, like this is weird. He didn't do anything to it, clearly. I mean, he even have time to do anything to it
Yeah.
significant, and was trying to sell it for 135. So I'm like, okay, he's trying to make 50 grand,
Yeah.
like right quick.
Yeah.
Which more power to you. I'm all about making money if you can make it that way, but it just seemed like a little shady. Like it was just
Yeah.
kind of like, I'm not gonna bankroll your 50,000,
Yeah.
whatever. So I'm like, I'm not completely disinterested. I'm just disinterested at that price,
Yeah.
and possibly the foundation. And so talked to the seller a little bit through my realtor. It was like, first of all, what's up with the foundation? Like,
Yeah.
do you know? Because if I'm gonna put an offer in, I'm gonna need it contingent on inspecting and like knowing like what all will need to be done with that.
Yeah.
And a foundation issue doesn't scare me a ton besides the fact it's a flip. And the whole point of a flip is to sell it.
Hmm.
And who's going to want to buy their family home starting off with a foundation issue, even if it's professionally fixed?
Hmm.
And we talked about that in a previous podcast a little bit too. Like, it's harder to sell a house that has a problem like that,
Hmm.
even if it's fixed.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look good from the start.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to buy my first family home. Like, okay, yeah, there was a foundation issue, but it's fixed. Like, you're
Yeah.
good. I'd be like, I'm just going to look for one that doesn't have that issue? But anyway, so I went to my lender just to get like approved. And so financing for the flip, a lot of places will do 90% financing for the property price and then 90% for renovations. And so it can be, you know, pretty good deal.
Hmm.
But I just told my lender, I'm like, well, this probably won't go through because I don't think he's gonna take like what I'm gonna offer if I offer anything. Because the most I said the very top dollar I would go is probably 105, and I don't even think I would do that.
Yeah.
Like, but contingent on inspection, if the inspector's like, hey, this really isn't a big deal, this was an addition to the place and like
Yeah.
easily fixable, whatever. Well, I told the realtor, like I got approved, but I'm like, well, I don't think he'll accept it, but I said I'm probably not even gonna put this offer in, but like would he even, is there room to negotiate or am I wasting my time, basically? And he's like, well, there's not really a lot of room to negotiate, but like what were you thinking? And I'm like, at the very most like 105, but I don't even want to say that for sure. And he's like, yeah, he won't take that. And I'm thinking, this guy, that he would still be making what, 20 grand in
Yeah.
2 weeks?
Yep.
Like, I would probably take it. I'd be like, sweet, someone's gonna offer me 20 grand more than I paid for this a week and a half ago.
Yeah. That's
You
crazy,
know,
but
but
honestly, like props to him for like doing something like that's a really interesting strategy to go about flipping a house. Just buying a house that you think you can make more off of and hoping for the best, putting it back on the market. Like, I don't know.
yeah, it was just wild to me that it was so much more. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm honestly just like, yeah, like I'm all about people making money how they want to make money, so fine, but I just don't want to be your bank. I
Yeah.
don't want to bankroll you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked my realtor about that. I'm like, do you know this person? Like,
Mhm.
do you know like why? Like, did he buy it planning to flip it and then was like, oh, this is a headache, so I'm just not going to. I'm just gonna list it for a lot more. He's like, I don't really know him. I just know he does this all the time. Like he'll buy something. He goes, I don't know how he finds these like really cheap off market deals and then just sells it for a lot more. And
Wow.
yeah, he's like, my realtor said that the guy said, oh, if no one like wants it, then I probably will just like fix it up and sell it for more.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking you're gonna be like 50 grand like into that bad boy probably. It needed
Yeah.
everything. Like the whole
Yeah.
entire it was there was nothing really salvageable about the
Yeah.
house. Like even the floors were wood, but they weren't really nice wood where I wouldn't even say you could like resurface them. I would say you
Mm.
have to do everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But oh, I wanted to go back though to comps real quick. So my that almost got me in trouble with the full flip I did because I didn't even like think about that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really know that was like a thing, honestly, if I'm just being completely honest. I just do stuff by jumping into it and then like figuring it out later, and
Yep.
there's a lot of benefits to that, like in taking that action, but also a lot of like can be scary
Hmm.
because then you're like, oh, crap, now I'm into this and this is happening.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what happened? Let's see. So bought it for like 140-ish, and then we're gonna list it for 215, I want to say, if
Okay.
I'm remembering right. And so someone came out and appraised it, and they appraised it at like our asking price. But then for some reason, and I don't remember why, there needed to be like a second appraisal. Like maybe they just wanted to do that because it was so much high. I think it's because it was so much higher than the other houses in the neighborhood.
Okay.
And so they sent out a second appraiser who only appraised it at like 209.
Mm.
And so then like a bank won't finance, like the buyer's bank won't finance at that higher price.
Yeah.
They'll only finance at the lower price. And so it made it so one person's financing, like one offer that we had, fell through. And that was really frustrating because like I'd waited like a month to close and then financing fell through because of that second appraisal.
Yeah.
And then the next buyer, he so happened to be like, I have the extra 9 grand or whatever it was in cash I can just give you for the difference.
Hmm.
And so that part like worked out really well because a lot of people don't just like have that, or they aren't willing to like take an extra like 9 grand or
Yeah.
whatever in cash to bring to the table.
Yep.
But I was like, oh, we made this house a lot nicer than the other houses around it. And I just didn't realize that that would affect an appraisal, affect someone's financing and all
Hmm.
that stuff. So
Yeah.
that was a big learning lesson for me, which is why when I looked at this other flip like last week or
Yeah.
whatever, I'm like, what are the other houses in the neighborhood? And then you can not just even by your judgment, but you can look them up, like on Zillow. You can put their addresses in and see what they've sold for, when they sold,
Yeah.
their how many bed and bath they have, because that's part of comps as well.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was a big learning lesson for me in doing that.
Pro tip, Zillow is so useful.
Yeah,
So useful.
it,
Yeah.
it really is. Um, so yeah, I've looked at some other ones as well. Because somehow I got on like I think it's because of that one flip I did. I got on like an investors list because I started having someone reach out to me, um, like a wholesaler,
Yeah.
reach out to me about other deals in the area and
Nice.
stuff. And I've looked at them. There just has not been like the right one
Yeah.
yet.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that the right one comes along sooner than later. But
Super
um,
exciting.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. I don't know. I would love to, because like my main strategy is like buy and hold, but it's really exciting to flip. It's really satisfying.
Hmm.
But then again, like tax wise, you're looking at like a bigger like tax burden too
Yeah.
when you get a lot of capital quickly. So yeah.
But stay tuned for
Any
Alana's
other?
next flip, hopefully
Yeah.
soon.
I want to do it with you. We
I
say that every time, but it's just a matter of like finding the right one. I would totally move into a flip house together to fix it up for a month or two, and
Yes,
that would be
definitely.
really
We have
cool.
talked about doing that somewhere new for both of us, like near a beach or something and doing something fun like that, but we'll see. We'll see what
I would
happens.
love that. Like a
Yeah.
destination flip,
Yep.
a destination like let's go to Florida, find something that we can fix up, and then
Yep.
either sell it or like Airbnb it out or
Yep. Yep.
something,
Yep.
and then we can use it
Yep.
like when
Exactly.
we want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like block off the Airbnb calendar. We'll be like 30-year-old snowbirds.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
Sorry, you're
super
not 30
exciting.
yet. I am.
I'm not. Oh gosh, 30. That's so scary, but
Yeah,
anyway.
but yeah, sweet. Well, yeah, stay tuned, like Rachel said.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions about flips or anything, feel free to submit to our Instagram is up, Homies and Houses,
Hmm.
or Aspiring Slumlord is mine. Um, and yeah, any other questions, we'd be happy to answer them. Also, next week we will have a realtor on, so if there's any questions about buying a house or anything that you have for our realtor, just submit those via
And
Instagram.
we'll get
So
them
thank
answered
you.
next week. Yeah, have a great week.